Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Paramanandamadhavam. Om Achaturvadano Brahma Dvibahuraparo Harihi Abhalalochana Shambhu Bhagavan Badarayanaha. Om Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya Vame Cha Janakatmaja Purato Marutir Yasya Tam Vande Raghunandanam. We have seen till verse number 34. So here Bhagavan indicated that till the time the identification with any of the upadhis, any of the instruments continues, till such time the cycle of birth and this constant change shall remain. So what should one do? Through pramana of the Upanishad, which says not this, not this, once the identification is given up and the rasa, the nectar of this knowledge, that bliss is tasted or is experienced, then automatically everything else gets dropped off. Similar to having had the water, the coconut is dropped away. Now, who is this self whose nectarine bliss we are asked to taste, so that the other things can be easily given up? So now some pointers to this self is given in the next verse, verse number 35. Kadachidatmana mrito na jayate nakshiyate napi vivardhate anavaha vardhate navaha nirasta sarvatishayas sukhatmakaha sarvatishayas sukhatmakaha swayam prabhas sarvagato yamadvayaha sarvagato yamadvayaha. This I am, this Atma, I am Atma. How is this? Atma means self. Although the pronoun this has been used, we should understand it can never be recognized as this, because anything this is other than me. So this is always recognized as me. The word Atma itself stands for me. It means me. But here I am, this word is used to indicate that it is so clear. It is so directly known, as though right now in this realm of ignorance we are knowing something so close. Like that, it is so clearly known. Therefore, the pronoun I am, this is used. So, the self, na kadachit mritaha na jayate. Now, these are all words from the Upanishads, directly have come. Even Bhagavad Gita also, these words are taken, they are also taken from the Upanishads only. This self never, na kadachit, kadachit sometimes, na kadachit, never, mritaha na jayate. Never is this self born, never does this self die. By nature, it does not have these phases, these different modifications. We saw in the Sthula Upadhi, it was said it undergoes phases of change. So where there is birth also, there is growth also, there is decay also, death also. So here, no birth, no death. These two modifications. Na kshiyate, napi vivardhate. It doesn't get decayed also, nor does it grow also. So no birth, no growth, no decay, no death. So all these modifications are not there, means this Thula Upadhi, it is not. So in the earlier verse it was said, Neti Pramanena Nirakrita Akhilaha. All these Upadhis are given up by saying Neti Neti, not this, not this. So here the self is indicated as having no modifications, no changes. So therefore, if this vikara is not there, then anything that has these changes is not the self. So wherever my identification may be, I will have to give up, because if it is undergoing change, then it cannot be me. So, ayam atma na kadachit mritaha na jayate, na kshiyate, napi vivardhate. How is it? Anavaha. Interesting. Navaha means new. New means what? That it was not there earlier. New. It has just come. Navaha. Anavaha means it is not new. Means, see, if we say old, then we can say old means how old. So we can say old, then we can say ancient. So there are different ways of indicating. Old means how old? A little old, very old. But here, not new. Not new means it is beyond time. Because that which we call as new, which means it was somewhere produced in time, and it keeps getting old over time. Here, not new means it is ever there. There was no time where it was not. Means it is beyond time. Anavaha. Nirasta sarvatishaya. Everything that is other than myself, all these upadhis, all these instruments, all these qualities, attributes, all this, without, devoid of all this, nirasta, free from all attributes, all adjectives, all descriptors, nothing. Because any adjective, any description used, any word used to describe it can only limit it. It can never indicate what it really is. Usually, when we describe something, and especially something that we value a lot, that we respect a lot, that we love a lot, there is always some kind of exaggeration that happens. We want to, so if somebody, I love that person a lot, or I admire that person, then I praise that person, and there is always exaggeration. I'll say more than what really it is. I'll use superlatives. I want to, because it's my bhava. So it is there always exaggerated. Here in this case, how much ever we may say, not even exaggeration, it cannot even equal what it really is. It will always fall short. Because it cannot be indicated, it cannot be described, it cannot be pointed out directly with words. It is beyond the scope of words. So it is without any attributes, without any qualities. What adjectives can we use? Any adjective will only limit it. But one thing we can say, what is it? Sukhatmakaha. It is of the nature of bliss. So it is a blissful self, and this I want. So what I want is me. Sukhatmakaha. It is full of bliss. It is not full of bliss also is not a right expression. It is bliss itself. Oh, how will I recognize it? How should I know it? How should I attain it? For anything other than me, I need some instrument to recognize. I need some light to illuminate. But here, Swayam Prabha, it does not need any other light to illumine. It is self-evident, self-illumining. Swayam Prabha, Swayam Prakasha. If I have to find a lamp which is lit, I don't need to take another lamp to look for it. If it is lit means itself has light, it will be able to, tell me it is there. I don't need any other light. But yes, if it is put off, then I may need another light. But this is the light of all lights. It is self-evident, self-luminous. Swayam Prabha, Sarvagataha. Sarvagataha, it is everywhere. Gata means has gone. Has gone means it pervades everything. It is everywhere. I am Advayaha. This self is one without a second. No dvaya, no second. We may recognize this self which is beyond our instruments, body, mind, intellect, etc., as the witness of all this, devoid of any of these limitations of the upadhis, we may recognize. But there is a possibility that we may feel that with every set of upadhis, there is one Atma. Because I am also saying I. Somebody else also says I. Each one says I. So there are so many I's, so many Atmas. It is possible that we may understand it that way. And there are many schools of thought also which say Atma are many. But here it is very clearly said, Atma Advayaha. It is only one. Like behind every bulb or tube or any appliance or the air conditioner or the fan, behind everything there is electricity. But there is no electricity individually, separately for each appliance. The electricity passing through each one is the same. The expression may be different. Some may be a dim light, some may be a bright light, some may heat up, some may cool down. Whatever be the expression, that doesn't matter. That expression will depend on the appliance itself. And each appliance need not have a separate electricity. It is the same one which is passing through all. Similarly, one self alone which is illumining all the upadhis enabling, enlivening all the upadhis, and is able to function, all the upadhis are able to function under that light of consciousness. So there's only one consciousness, so the self in me is the self in all. That is what has to be known, that is what has to be attained, that is what has to be directly experienced. Now, the question may arise, which is being raised here, that if this blissful self, which is self-evident also, it is devoid of any of these limitations of the upadhis, which is one without a second, this self, which is all pervading, which is ever there, available for our experience, and that too it is not far or near, it is me, myself, then how come ignorance comes? Where did this ignorance come from? This avidya, ajnanam, where did it come from? If this is of the nature of consciousness, knowledge per se, then how did ignorance come? So now this question is being raised in the next verse. Evam vidhe jnanamaye sukhatmake katham bhavo dukkhamayah pratiyate ajnanatodhyasavashat prakashate ज्ञाने विलीयेत विरोधतः क्षणात्. एवं विधे ज्ञानमये सुखात्मके, in this self which is just indicated in the previous verse, which is jnanamaya, which is the knowledge or consciousness itself, sukhatmake, which is bliss itself, in such self, which is just indicated through these words in the previous verse, katham bhavaha dukkhamayah pratiyate. How can this bhava, this constant change, transmigration, samsara, which is dukkhamayah, which is full of sorrow, pratiyate, can appear? In this ever blissful, all-pervading, self-evident self, how can this sorrow-ridden samsara appear? How is it possible? Because if I say I am the blissful self, then what am I experiencing? I am experiencing sorrow all the time. I say I am all-pervading, but I am experiencing limitation all the time. I say I am consciousness, but I feel that I am constantly undergoing change, therefore I am inert. That is what I am feeling right now. If I say I am one without a second, but I am experiencing manyness. Within me also there are so many differences I am finding. This is my happy self, this is my agitated self, this is my dissatisfied self, this is my jealous self, this is my angry self. So many fragments are there within me also. So how is it possible that what I am experiencing is so different and so opposed to what the scripture is indicating? How is it possible? Now, if we look at this flow of the text, initially Bhagavan just established the thought that it is not karma, grow out of karma, and it is jnanam. Karma has to somewhere slowly decrease, because if my mind is constantly in karma and karma phala, I will keep moving around there only. So Through Karma Yoga, I attain purity, and it is only pursuit of knowledge that will get me out. Okay. Then, what is this knowledge? Knowledge was given. So, the first level of initial preparation is through Karma Yoga, purity of knowledge, purity of mind. Then, gain the knowledge. So, this, what is gaining the knowledge? How is it possible? Shravanam. So, whatever Bhagavan said, we listen to it. Now, Bhagavan is taking us forward and saying, now reflect upon the knowledge. We heard that this is Anatma, this is Atma, leave the Anatma and get established in the Atma. Okay, good. Now, but how? Reflect. Now, how reflect? First understand what is the self and how this not self came. How is it possible? It doesn't seem to be possible. How can dukkha happen in the blissful self? How can change happen in that which is constant? How can there be limitation in the infinite? How can there be ignorance in knowledge itself? How is it possible? Katham bhavo dukkhamayah pratiyate. So now the reason is given. Earlier, the word Maya was used. And it was said this Maya. Initially, avidya was used. Moola karanam is avidya. Then later, word Maya was used for ignorance. Now, this ignorance only at the experiential level, how it is working, the process of work of this ignorance is given in two steps. It is said that Maya also is twofold, has two powers. What are these two powers? Ajnanataha adhyasavashat prakashate. Where did this change and limitation and sorrow come from? So he says, Ajnanataha. First is ignorance, ajnana, not knowing what is there as it is, not knowing. And adhyasavashat, and because of adhyasa. Adhyasa means projecting something else in its place. In the scriptures, in other set of words also is ajnana is also referred to as avarana or veil, covering, avarana, and adhyasa is also referred to as vikshepa, projection. Puja Gurudev referred to this ajnana as non-apprehension. In all Gurudev's books we will find these words. And the other adhyasa is called as misapprehension. Non-apprehension, misapprehension. Not knowing what is there and then in its place projecting something else. So, for example, there is a beautiful painting on the wall. Let us say painting of the Lord. Bhagavan Shri Rama, the whole Ram Darbar is there on the wall. And on top of the wall there is a curtain. And on the curtain I project a movie and I am watching a movie. Now, somebody asks, what is there on that wall? What will I say? Movie. Why? This movie is being projected. I am watching the movie. Now, till the time I am going to watch this movie, I will never be able to see what is behind that curtain. So, I am watching the movie. Now, if the movie is turned off, then what will happen? I will watch the plain screen, plain curtain. But still I don't know what is behind it. So even if after the movie is stopped, somebody comes and asks, now what do you see? I see plain screen. I don't see anything. That curtain has to fall or it has to be pulled away. Only then I can see the Lord behind. In the same way, here also, the ever blissful infinite self, which is my own nature, I am that. That is always there, like on the wall. There is one curtain of ajnana, ignorance. And on that curtain, there is adhyasa, projected as, no, I don't know who I am. I don't know I am the infinite blissful self. So, what the projection happens? I am this body, mind, intellect. And when I am these instruments, then these instruments have all the limitations. The instruments undergo change. The instruments have various aspects and fragments. And therefore, all this quality of the instruments are owned by me. And I say, I am sorrowful, I am constantly changing, I have lots of differences in me, I am limited. So all these, this is called adhyasa. Projection. It can happen only when there is the curtain of ignorance. If there is no curtain, no movie can be projected. The movie also needs a medium, a surface on which it can be projected. Misapprehension cannot happen if there is no non-apprehension. It is non-apprehension that has to precede misapprehension. How do we see a dream? Dream is a projection of the mind. We know that very well. But how do we experience the dream, or when do we experience the dream? The dream is experienced only when we get cut off from the waking state. That is the curtain of ignorance put on the waking state. I no longer experience the waking state. Therefore, on that curtain of ignorance, the dream world is projected. Projection, any projection is possible only when there is ignorance. The curtain of ignorance. Avarana is needed for vikshepa. Non-apprehension only leads to misapprehension. If there is no non-apprehension, there is no misapprehension. If I already know who I am, then why will I misunderstand myself, and why would I identify with something else? I know who I am. Then why should I consider myself to be something else? If I know that I am alive, even if a doctor comes and tells me that you are dead, will I believe ever? I know I am alive. Doctor, I have studied medical sciences for so many years. I am telling you, you are not alive. I don't know which college you studied. But I know I am alive. When I know, I will never buy anybody else's anything. But if I have even a little bit of doubt, or worse, if I don't know at all who I am, then anybody says anything, I believe that is me. This one student came complaining about the other. Guruji, he is calling me a donkey. The Guru said, I have been saying you are the blissful self since so many years. You are not listening to me. And he said you are a donkey. You believed him and proved him right. When I know who I am, then anybody calls me a donkey or a monkey, how does it affect me? I know I am not that. Why? Because I know who I am. But when I do not know who I am, that's when anybody says anything, I get scared. And that is how this world is running. It is exploiting us. Because The world tells me, you are like this. Oh, really? Am I this? Like that? Oh, no. That is all the advertising, everything that is happening is based on, it is exploiting our this curtain of ignorance. It is projecting whatever. You need our product. Without our product, your life is incomplete. As soon as you have our product, your life will be complete. Yes, let me go and purchase. They may not use these words, but this is what it means. Rest is details. Every marketing strategy is only this. And what are they projecting on? On our screen, which we have provided. You project, okay, get your own screen. No. मुफ्त का स्क्रीन भी ले लेते हैं और उस पर प्रोजेक्ट करके वो खुद पैसा बनाते हैं. We are providing them, come, I will give you screen also, you project your movies also and you earn. मैं वैसा का कंगला बैठा हुआ हूँ. Having all the wealth with me, still I am being exploited. Only because of ignorance. Once I know who I am, then anything may happen in the world. I am not going to get affected. So this is ajnanatah adhyasavashat. That is why I see dukkha. That is why I see limitation. That is why I see all this change that is constantly happening and I get affected by it. That is why I consider myself, I will die and then I will be born again and then I will go through all these different experiences. What if in next janma I don't get human birth? Then what will happen? I want to realize myself in this birth itself and that becomes a point of stress. I am under stress. Why? I have to realize in this lifetime itself. That becomes a stress point. And because of that I don't realize. Because I want to realize means right now I am not that, right now I am not that. I am reinforcing that thought. So that is the screen. And when that is the screen, project, karte jao. And then one day, by mistake, my mind is very peaceful and cheerful. I want to hold on to that. Means one day the movie scene is very beautiful. Nice scenic movie. Aha, so good. I want to pause karo, bas. I want to just watch. How long will we watch that pause? I say, chalo play karo. Then suddenly, some other scene comes, something else. I don't like this. That beginning scene was so nice. Now I want to, let me go back to my school days. Beginning scene. That scene was very nice. Pause kar do udhar. Movie will go on. How long will the movie go on? Till that screen is there. So what is he saying? Jnane viliyate virodatah kshanat. As soon as knowledge happens, because this screen of ignorance is only opposed to knowledge. Once knowledge takes place, the screen burns away in the fire of knowledge. There is no screen remaining, so no projection can happen. So this is what is needed. So, ajnanatah adhyasavashat prakashate, all this is seen only because of the veil of ignorance and the resultant projection of what is not. So, it has to be destroyed by knowledge. Bhagavan, can you tell me little bit about this adhyasa? New word. So, Bhagavan said, of course. Even if you did not ask, I was going to tell you only. Okay, what is it? Verse 37. Yadanyadanyatra vibhavyate brahmat adhyasamityahuramum vipaschitah asarpa bhutehi vibhavanam yatha रज्ज्वादिके तद्वदपीश्वरे जगत्. Yad anyatra vibhavyate. What is this adhyasa? Adhyasa is being defined here. Brahmat, due to ignorance, due to Brahma, what is happening? Anyatra anyad vibhavyate. In some other place where it is not, something else is seen. So something is seen which is not there. Anyatra, in another place, anyat, something else, vibhavyate, is seen, it shines. Due to what? Brahmat, ignorance. Because if ignorance is not there, adhyasa cannot happen. So something is seen somewhere else, means where it is not, there it is seen. Due to ignorance. This is called adhyasam iti ahuhu amum. This is called as adhyasa vipaschitah by the knowers or the wise people, the knowledgeable people, call this as adhyasa. What is it? The appearance of one thing in a place where it is not. That is called adhyasa. Projection. So where there is, it is not there, there it is seen. Is sorrow there? But it is experienced. Is there something called death for me? But it is constantly experienced. I am always afraid of it. Is there change? There is no change. But still I am. It is experienced. In the movie theater, when we watch the movie projected on the screen, actually the screen is a white screen. There is nothing. It's just white screen. But can we see the white screen when the movie is going on? We are not able to see. So, we are seeing suddenly it is raining. Now, is there any water? There, actually the screen is dry. But I am seeing water there. I am seeing people there. Are people there on the screen? No. I am seeing people there. There is light, there is shadow, there are trees, there are buildings, there are animals. So many things are there. Are these there? No, it is not there. There is only plain white screen. But I am watching all these things. There are various emotions, there are stories, but that screen is just there. We are constantly looking in that direction only. We are constantly looking at the screen only, without recognizing it as the screen. Why? Because we are looking at the movie that is projected on the screen. And when we say projected on the screen, does not mean something is coming on the screen. What is it? It is only an appearance. Actually, nothing is coming. Even if I see rains are not there on the screen. It is not wet. There is not even one drop of water on the screen. But I am still seeing rains. And when I look there, I am recognizing the rains, I am recognizing the wetness, but I am not recognizing the screen on which this projection is there. Then what to talk of what lies behind the screen? So I don't even recognize the ignorance. Because my mind is on the projection. So anyatra anyad vibhavyate. So the wise person knows it to be adhyasa. And here example is given. Yatha, just as Rajwadike in the rope is a favorite example, the most popular. In the rope, what kind of rope is this? Asarpa bhute, which has no trace of any snake. In that, ahivibhavanam, we seeing a snake, the appearance of a snake in the rope which has no trace of any snake ever. It was not that this rope is today the rope, but earlier last year it used to be a snake. Now it has become a rope. No, it was never a snake. This rope has only the tail of the snake. Rest all is rope only. Not even a part is a snake. Outside there is snake skin only. Inside there is rope. There is no outside inside. It is only rope inside out. There is nothing else. No part, no outside, no inside. Nothing. Never in any time, not in any place was it a snake. But lying in my garden, dimly lit, I see at dawn or dusk, I see and I say, oh, snake is there. What happened? It is possible only when I do not know it is a rope. The moment I know it is a rope, I will never see a snake. So the projection is not happening on the snake. The projection is happening on my ignorance of the rope. The projection is not happening on the rope. Rope is lying, rope is untouched by anything. I do not know it is the rope. Ignorance. And on that veil of ignorance, the projection of snake is happening. So where is the snake? Is it in the rope? No, it is in my mind only. And therefore, someone else, if they see, they may see a garland there. It is a rope, but they may see a garland. Why? Because for them, the projection is of the garland. Someone else may see it is just a crack in the ground. So they may look at it as a crack. Some may see it is a garden hose pipe only. So whatever my sanskaras, the projection happens based on that. But all these, the person who sees the hose pipe is better than the one who sees the snake. As far as Vedanta is concerned, all are equally ignorant. Because if I am seeing something else, means Adhyasa has happened. And if Adhyasa has happened, it is happening only because of Brahma, ignorance. It is the foundation of ignorance on which the edifice of Adhyasa stands. So without that, there is no possibility of any projection. And whatever I may see, irrespective of whether it is auspicious, inauspicious, good, bad, desirable, undesirable, whatever it may be, if it is not what it is, then it is Adhyasa. So yad anyatra vibhavyate brahmat adhyasam iti ahuhu amum vipaschitaha. Asarpabhute ahivibhavanam yatha rajwadike. Tadvat, in the same way, what kind of adhyasa are we experiencing? Tadvad api Ishware Jagat. Same way, this whole creation is seen in Ishvara or Brahman. In that supreme reality, I am seeing the projection of this whole universe. So I do not know the reality, therefore I am seeing this creation and giving it so much of importance, giving it reality, and I am stuck. So, Ishware Jagat. In that reality, I see this constantly changing Jagat. Same way, Atmani, in myself, I see all these upadhis, get identified with them. So it is where there is not even a trace of that, but it is seen. How is it possible to see? Masters ask us, how do you manage to see? Because it is not there. Still you are able to see. So take some capacity. How do you see it? What is not there? When some child gets scared, I don't want to go there. It is so scary. And I say, what's scary? Nothing is there. Come. Nothing is there. So now, when nothing is there, we are saying, but the child feels it is there. Similarly, the scriptures, the guru, they say, nothing is there. Don't feel scared. No, it is there. So any experience, when we do not know the reality, we assume. We take it for granted something else is there. See, it is very difficult to say, even live in that level of I do not know. That I do not know is not a very comfortable statement. For example, we ask, it sometimes happens, we are stuck. Nowadays GPS is there, but GPS is not 100%. It doesn't show me. Sometimes somewhere it takes me to a dead end and said, you have arrived at your destination. Said, where is it? That behind this wall. That's where you have to go. You have reached. Now how do I go? You have to jump or what? So then I ask someone, how to go? I have to go behind this wall. That's what my map shows. So now how do I go beyond this wall? I have to go somewhere from behind. So how do I do? So this person doesn't know. I say, Achha, you go this way and then turn left and there you ask someone. They will not say, I don't know. They'll confidently say, you do that. And this is what is Maya at play. Because just to stay at I do not know is not a comfortable place. So I fill in something, project something, so that I know. Although it is wrong, but I know something, no? It may be completely incorrect, but I know. Why should I say I don't know? I know it. So similarly here also, this only avarana, it doesn't stay. Then there has to be, I know, yeah. Do you know you are the self? What self? I know I am this body. So say you don't know who you are. Who said I don't know who I am? I know who I am. That is why when Shankaracharya ji also raises these questions, that have you ever inquired, who are you? Where do you come from? What is the purpose of your life? Who are all these relations around you? Who is your father, mother? Who are they? I know all this information. Why unnecessarily you are making me think? If you have some knowledge to give, you give. But don't ask me these questions. These are, I know the answers to all these questions. I know. Why? I know incorrectly, but I know. So I am very happy with that. That is adhyasa. And I am convinced about it. That is why Maya is considered to have two Shaktis. One is Avarana Shakti, blinds us, and Vikshepa Shakti shows us something else. And we are so entertained with what is shown to us that we don't inquire about where is it seen, who is that. Even when I am watching the movie, I am seeing the white screen alone. Even when I am transacting with this world, it is actually Brahman alone. I am not recognizing it, that's all. It is Brahman with whom I am transacting. But no awareness, no knowledge, So I think I am interacting with the world. But actually, it is that reality alone, nothing else is. So which is more powerful, the avarana or vikshepa? That's why Puja Guruji sometimes he would ask, is avarana because of vikshepa or vikshepa because of avarana? It's something very important for us to think. We say because of avarana there is vikshepa. But vikshepa itself has now become an avarana for me. Means till the time I am involved in the movie, I never realize that what I am looking at is only a white screen. So the projection itself is keeping the avarana intact. And avarana only makes it possible for the vikshepa to happen. So both are actually helping each other. If the movie is not there, then I will recognize, oh, this is the screen, hatao usko. But I am seeing the movie and I am happy. Okay. What you are saying, some painting is there, nice painting. What is it? This is movie. Movie is nice. And now don't disturb. Important scene. Now I want to see this. So we get sometimes, what is this reality the scriptures are talking about? Hey, wait. Important. I have some duties to perform. I have to some interactions. So good, important scene in the movie. I am lost in the movie. What painting? I don't even recognize the screen which is covering the painting. So sometimes thoughts come that I want to see. But then immediately I come back to, no, movie. Let me see. This. So transactional world becomes so very important for me. So now this adhyasa, which is said to be the cause or said to be the real play that is taking place. Now Bhagavan is taking us through the process, how it works. What happens? Adhyasa, first, the projection takes place, yes, but what happens first? Then how it proceeds. So beautiful analysis of the impact of ignorance on ourselves. The process is indicated now next. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.